Very, very interesting case to discuss right now. Police officers face being banned from participating in pride marches and parades after a court ruled that one of Britain's largest police forces, this is Northumbria Police, breached impartiality by marching at an LGBT plus rights event. The Chief Constable acted unlawfully, the judge ruled. Yesterday, when she allowed uniformed officers to march under a transgender flag at a Pride event last year. The Judicial review was brought by Lindsey Smith. She's what's called a gender-critical campaigner, i.e. a sane person who understands that trans-identified men are still men and not women. She argued that the force broke the professional oath sworn by police officers to act with impartiality. And officers from Northumbria, they not only had a stall at the parade in Newcastle, they marched under the Progress flag promoting trans ideology. They painted a police van with trans colours at your and my expense, by the way. And the Judicial Review basically ruled, well, no, this is contrary to the uniformed officers' duties of impartiality. Gotta love this. Well, let's talk about this with Peter Bleksley, former Metropolitan Police Detective. Peter, thank you for joining us. And this is an amazing victory for common sense, isn't it?
It is such a joy to be able to come onto your station and your show today and discuss, for once, a common sense ruling in relation to contemporary 2025 policing. A matter of huge joy, which clearly shows what a fool and what an ideological zealot Chief Constable Vanessa Jardine is. Clearly incapable of leading her police service effectively and, moreover, properly. She's not fit for service. She should go immediately.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, she's not the only one. They're all doing the same, and we've all seen these police vans and everyone. Now, we know that marches need to be policed, often to either protect the people who are marching, or to just generally keep order along the route. And we've got no problem with that. And I've got no problem whether it's Notting Hill Carnival or a Pride March or whatever it is. If police are, being friendly and the like. But as a general rule, I think we expect police to be doing, I don't know, go crazy, policing rather than when in uniform and wearing their uniform unless they're on duty, it seems to me to be inappropriate anyway, to be marching on an issue like this. Now, because there is a very big difference, isn't there, about gay pride. Again, I've got to be honest with you, since gay people have had the same rights as straight people for I mean, certainly, in the last 10 years, everything has changed in terms of rights and things. It seems to me that, this is still ongoing, but I'm not bothered by that. It's a celebration after a lot of people would have been raised when it was a source of shame. We're constantly told this is often about trans rights, queer rights, non-binary rights. And again, these are completely different things. But this is an ideology which is very controversial. That's why there have been Supreme Court rulings about it. That's why there have been death threats and rape threats against authors and people who speak out on this, like J.K. Rowling, for arguing about it. It seems to me to be, we've seen Nicola Sturgeon, the Scottish First Minister, pretty much one of the main issues that she lost her job over was over this. This is a very divisive, dangerous political ideology. And police officers have got no business taking part in a parade in that context, have they?
Absolutely. And it clearly shows that Chief Constable Jardine has lost the plot in terms of the very fundamentals, the basic principles of policing without fear or favour, with impartiality. If I was still serving, would happily police a Pride march. But what I would do is I would be there to protect the march. I would be continually looking out for signs of danger, threat, violence, anything that might come about that needed to be policed, acted upon. I most certainly would not hold the banner, the flag or a line to any ideology whatsoever, like taking the knee, like dancing at Pride, like marching, literally holding a transgender flag. Utterly appalling. Well done to Ms. Smith, who brought this action. Brilliant ruling from the judge. And yet again, Jardine should go. Again,
but then that would be an awful lot of other police officers going. You bring in Black Lives Matter and that extraordinary scene of those police officers taking the knee. I think a lot of them felt quite intimidated. But we've seen a lot of this. We see activism in the police. I mean, activism is in every sports event. It's just non-stop. The virtue signaling, the trans issue. I mean, I can't go to my local supermarket without being inundated with trans propaganda. It's in the social media. It's when you want to buy a car. I mean, it's just everywhere. But what's fascinating is the police not getting the They need to be seen to be impartial in these issues. And we've seen again and again when this, I hate the phrase gender critical. This is just people who understand biological sex and want to protect women's rights. People like Kelly J. Keane, even when they're speaking at things like Speaker's Corner, where, you know, this is long established right for people to say whatever they want at Speaker's Corner. And if you go there, expect you might not like what you hear. But women being intimidated, threatened by masked, sometimes balaclavaed, clearly men with aggressive behaviour, sometimes even actually physically threatening and hurting the women who are speaking, holding placards, you know, saying, you know, kill a turf, you know, and things like that. Meaning women standing up for women's rights. And we have not seen proper policing of that because these police officers are too busy attending a march in favour of trans ideology instead of protecting women from thuggish men.
It is a very breach of the basic tenets of policing, that deal between the public and the police being broken. But this we've seen for a number of years, a generation or more of police leaders who have gone to university, who have been indoctrinated, who come out with letters after their names, thinking they are so important and part of the academic intelligentsia, which actually policing is far more straightforward than that. What policing actually needs is service to a public and understanding the service that the public wants. But when police change from forces to service, a lot more change, sadly, than just the name.
Absolutely. And it's not just whether at university. I don't care whether someone's gone to university or not gone to university, as long as they can do the job and understand the job. But it's the College of Policing in particular, isn't it? And the routes by which people get up the ladder. And police officers tell me privately, you cannot get anywhere up the ladder anymore unless you sign up to all of the woke stuff, whether it's, oh, everyone's a racist, whether it's, well, we're not sure whether, globalize the intifada is actually a call for the mass killing of Jews, whether you support gender ideology as opposed to women's rights not to be intimidated and under attack from men. I mean, if you don't sign up to that stuff, you are not getting promoted.
Absolutely. The greasy polar promotion is not for you. You have to speak their speak. You have to think their think. It is the only way to get into the senior ranks of policing these days. And you mentioned the much discredited College of Police, which is basically a quango with such a high opinion of itself that it named itself the college. You know how posh people say they went to college when they actually mean university. Right? That's where it stems from. Their overinflated view of themselves. And while I'm criticising them, I have to mention the National Police Chiefs Council.
Oh, yes.
Because Vanessa Jardine of Northumbria Police, the Chief Constable, who I've mentioned, is the National Police Chiefs Council lead on, guess what? LGBTQ.
Oh, you shock me. You shock
me. There you go.
There we are.
And therefore, she has followed this ideology, implanted it into the brains of some of her police officers and been firmly slapped down by a brilliant, common sense judicial ruling. Absolutely.
Well, let's hope that ruling brings some sense. Not too hopeful. I mean, even that Supreme Court ruling didn't change an awful lot of things, did it? Peter Bleksley, former Met Police detective, I'd have him in charge any day of the week. Philip Ingram, what do you make of this?
Well, judicial common sense, that's another shock as well. But, no, the Chief Constable...
No, that's true. You don't get promoted in the judiciary now, unless you sign up to the woke group. I mean, the stuff they're expected to say they pretend they believe it or actually believe is terrifying.
And this Chief Constable has just been found out for doing something illegal. She can't retain her position in the National Police Chiefs Council for being found for encouraging something illegal.
They'll all back each other up because they're all doing it.
Well, a police officer doing something that's illegal. The courts have found her illegal.
You'd think.
I think she has to go.
Yeah. OK, well, I'll love to hear your thoughts on that as well.